Welcome everyone for this new moon alignment. This time we're looking at the new moon in Leo. This is being recorded a few days before, as now we're meeting every other Sunday to have the time to prepare for the full moon or the new moon or whatever moon cycle we're dealing with. And also for everyone to have a clear moment and a clear date in their heads and in their calendars so that we get into the rhythm of meeting together every other week. Before we get into the details of this moon, just wanted to let you know that the next moon alignment, it will be recorded because I'll be in the Days Out of Time retreat with a few other wonderful ladies. We will be in the desert. It's still time to join if you feel like joining. And the following week, hopefully we will be in the following alignment, I mean, on the 10th of August, we'll be hopefully live again together. But the next one, in 2 weeks' time, it's going to be recorded. So now let's look at what's happening in the skies and what has been happening since we last met for the full moon in Sagittarius, in Capricorn, sorry, 2 weeks ago. Some pretty interesting things have happened. On the 13th of July, and that's a week ago, Saturn started to move retrograde. It's in Aries, and it's going to move retrograde until the 28th of November, when it will be in Pisces. That's a very important movement because it's a very big planet that's affecting us all. Another important event happened on the 18th of July. That's 2 days ago. Mercury started to move retrograde in Leo. It will stay in Leo during its entire retrogradation, and it will be moving backwards until the 11th of August, which is when we will be back from the retreat, interestingly enough. And the other movement that is still unfolding and affects us all quite importantly, which we already spoke about the last alignment, is that Uranus is still at the very, very early degrees of Gemini. And it's going to be there until the 8th of November when it's going to start moving backwards again. But we'll talk about that nearer the time when it's time to prepare for that. So this moon is happening at, so as I said, on the 24th of July at 8:11 Casablanca time, 7:11 p.m. Universal Time, and it's happening at 2 degrees 08 of Leo. So check where that degree falls in your chart to know what it means. You can download your chart on any of the astrology websites, AstroSeek, Astro.com, and you will have a chart with little numbers in the middle, which are the numbers of the houses. So see in which house it falls in your chart. It will tell you where it is affecting you most. As usual, the moons are affecting us all in many aspects, but for each of us, it can mean something more specific. And that's where the house is telling you what's happening. So let's dive into what this moon is trying to bring as information and what it's trying to teach us. First of all, let's look at the archetype of Leo, just to remind us all what we're dealing with. It's a fire sign, as you all know probably, and it's the emotion aspect of the Trinity of Fire that starts in Aries and falls in Leo and closes in Sagittarius. The mantra of Leo is I can, and you'll understand in a minute why. It's a very good encapsulation of what it represents, what that archetype represents. In the evolution of the being that the zodiac is, through its 12 archetypes, Leo opens the second cycle of the zodiac, the cycle related to the soul. This is where the spark, the divine spark that incarnated in Aries, is going to become, in its expansion, the fire of Leo. What it means is that this is through the path of the zodiac, this is when we become aware of our personal power. And you will understand, you will connect that with the fact that the Leo is ruled by the sun. And we'll see how that is going to help us for today's alignment. So based on that, the attributes of Leo are sovereignty, creativity, generosity. It's connected to will, to leadership, to being a beacon of light for people, for its ability to bring together people towards one purpose or to take them in one direction. When it's in conflict, it can show pride, desire to control, arrogance, and the egotistic desire to be the center of attention just for the sake of being seen. So you see where the archetype of the sun is really connecting with the archetype of Leo. Out of all the zodiac signs, Leo is the one that is most connected to the heart, especially for its generosity and its connection to others. It rules the 5th house, which is the house of creation, creativity, the house where we father a project or a person. It's a house of play. It's a house of personal conquests as well. So this is what Leo is about. There's a lot of empowerment in the archetype of Leo. A lot of sense of our own abilities, of our own presence, of our own power, the possibilities that we can create. So the sense that we can achieve everything that we want. It's related to the solar plexus and to the digestive system. There's many ways it relates to the digestive system, but one of them, for example, is in the ability to bite into food and get nourished by that, in the ability to break that down and nourish their entire body through whatever we ingested. Then it goes to the intestines, and then it nourishes every cell equally. So that's in short, the parallel we can draw between the archetype of Leo and our digestive system. So what information is this moon opening to us? So as every new moons happen when the sun and the moon are connected together in the sky. And so here they are 2 degrees 08 of Leo. So first and foremost, this moon is talking to us about empowerment, is sending us towards our own sovereignty, and is asking us to remember our place in our environment, our house, our family, our circle of friends, the city where we live, the country, our place in the universe in general. So empowerment doesn't necessarily mean to do things in a very showy way. Empowerment means we are standing in our power. We can do that in a very discreet way, in a very silent way, but it's the knowing of what we are, what we want to achieve, our abilities. It's really being unapologetically ourselves, and having the sense that whatever we set our mind to, we can achieve. So that means also that we are able to open the door to the divinity that we hold within. To understand that the source of my power is not in my ego, is not in my limited understanding of who I am, of the world, of the people around me, because our understanding, if we take it only from a pure, let's say, human perspective, although if we don't connect with our divine heart, it will always be limited. So one of the important things of Leo is the recognition of my divinity and of my connection with the divine. That's very, very important. That's what will allow me to move with confidence. That's what will allow me to trust in my abilities, to recognize them where they are, and to have a balanced relationship with my surroundings, to be at my right place in the network of everyone that is surrounding me. And when I do that, when I connect to that divinity within, I understand the infinity that I am part of, even as an individual, even as an incarnated being. And that opens the door, to my history as an incarnated being, to all the abilities that come from beyond this physical existence. Not only the ones that come beyond this physical existence, my past lives or my parallel lives, or however you want to call them, but also it opens the door to my own personal history. So whenever I have shut down an ability that is part of my history, I get to remember it or to recognize it once again when I connect to my Leo part, let's say. And when I remember my place, when I remember my path, when I remember my abilities, when I remember who I am, when I stand in that power, then by resonance, let's say, I find my path. I'm able to find what is my path, what is my role, where am I going? If you imagine the world as a network of strings, and each string being the path of one of us, then I'll find mine instead of jumping from one to the other or taking the one of my neighbor or being in a chaotic organization. When I know who I am, when I find my power within, this is when I know my path. And by doing that, I'm helping others find theirs. Because this is what I am broadcasting as a being. So it's when I attune to my own power, I attune to my path, and I allow others to do the same. So it's a super powerful archetype to connect to. So this is like let's say the core of the message that this moon is bringing us. Now let's see what else is happening in the zodiac. So this moon is directly connecting to Saturn conjunct Uranus. Not Uranus, sorry, Neptune at the beginning of Aries. So these two, we spoke about that before. These two planets in their posture, in their position, and the way they connect with the Leo in a trine, these are informing my future. These are informing how do I find my path and how do I recognize my path. Remember that these two together at the very early degree of the entire zodiac, they are inviting us to manifest the dream that we dream of, to create the structures, the material structures for us to create or to manifest whatever we want to achieve for ourselves. And in that, it is informing and telling us this is how you find your path, this is how you create your path. By connecting to your really the dream of your essence, the deepest dream that you have within, and by making it happen by creating the right elements, be it, I don't know, is it the right place to live to create my dream? Is it the right relationships that I'm having at the moment? Is it the right job that I'm into, etc., etc.? The fact that Saturn is moving retrograde since a few days, this is asking us to maybe reconsider all the structures that we have already maybe started to put in place since this conjunction happened, maybe to take another look. Is this really how I want it to be? Is this really the best way to do it? Can I do it in a better way? Is there something I can change? Is there something more that I can do? If, for example, I don't know, if I'm in a job and I'm decided that no, I need another job and I need that type of job, maybe revise that and say, okay, is this really the right job for what I want to manifest, or can I fine tune it? So we're in a fine tuning of all the things we need to put in place in order to make it happen, to make our dream happen. And this new moon is also connecting very, very strongly to Pluto in Aquarius. And there's let's say, a dance between the new moon, Pluto, and Uranus, and Saturn and Neptune at the beginning of Aries, that makes this triple connection, or this triangle, very, very powerful. Remember, Pluto in Aquarius, Pluto is transformation, is continuing to ask us to transform and to burn down whatever is no longer needed to enter the age of Aquarius, the age of connection, the age of, it's another age of recognizing our own abilities and our own place in the middle of everyone around us. And this connecting to Saturn and Neptune and connecting to the new moon in Leo really puts us in that mood of, we are still in the total reinvention of who we are, of how we shine around us, of how we deliver the best of us to the world, of how we walk the right path for us in this incarnation. And Pluto is still and it has been, and it will be for a while still, but it's still in a very tight conjunction to Altair. Altair is one of those fixed stars, one of the master stars that really speak of the age of Aquarius. They're like beaming down that energy of the age of Aquarius to us. And the fact that it's directly connected to the new moon today, I think it's a really powerful and beautiful energy that we're receiving with this new moon. So this is one of the helps we are receiving for this new moon to redefine or to revise our place in the world, as well as get reacquainted perhaps with some of our abilities and to stand in our power. This moon also points out. Sorry, it's very hard for me to speak fluently today. This moon is pointing us to a challenge, though, for which we have help as usual. But we have the moon squaring Chiron in Aries, and it's squaring Pluto as well. Chiron is squaring Pluto. So we have like a very nice, very balanced and very tight triangle between Chiron at one end, and the Pluto and the Sun and Moon in the other ends. Chiron being in Aries is pointing to the wound of the I am. I am is the mantra of Aries. And remember that this is the source of our sovereignty that has expanded into Leo. So it's our primordial fire, our primordial spark that is being shown to us and that we are being asked to look at. So what this moon is telling us is to go back to the deepest of our I amness, of our simplest way to be. The one that it doesn't ask too much questions. It's just like, I am, and that's it. So we're asked to look at that again, to see where there is a wound in that. Where are we not able to be fully who we are? Why? What wounds it has created? How we can heal that? And most importantly, and this is where the connection of Pluto is very helpful, how can we transcend that and transform that wound into another ability or another talent or another potentiality for us that will help us expand into our full power? So really it's asking us to look at the wound and to find the cure. And that's Plutonian work. That's alchemizing our wounds. And Altair and Pluto being connecting to Chiron are directly helping us to find that. We also have another connection that is very, very interesting that is to the degree exact, is the connection of Chiron with the galactic center. So it's almost like a fractal of that connection with Leo. Leo being the sun and the galactic center, so the sun, the center of our solar system, and the galactic center, the center of our galaxy. So we're receiving even more refined light. Imagine you're an explorer and looking into yourself. Where do I have stuff to resolve? Where do I have wounds? What are the wounds that I haven't seen yet? Because for sure, all of us here have already done some work, but maybe there's something more. And we get the light from the next octave, if you want, directly from the galactic center to find that wound. We are receiving it with the moon. Another way to light up that lamp, if you want, is maybe just to sit in silent meditation. If you don't know where to look, for example, maybe it's just to sit and consciously and with intention draw in the light from the galactic center and ask, show me what else do I need to see? Show me what wounds I can transform right now. As simply as that, really, in a very simple way. So yeah, that we definitely have a challenge, yes, but great help to overcome whatever wounds that are still running in our I amness. And then we have Uranus that is bringing a great opening. It's really, here it's bringing a lot of opportunities. So we have the new moon that is a sextile with the Uranus at the beginning of Gemini. And it's also connecting to, in another sextile, to Saturn and Neptune at the beginning of Aries. So Uranus is the revolutionary, is the one that brings us ideas that we would have never thought of. Uranus is typically the one that brings the future here. It's super original, super creative. And in our quest to find our potentialities, to transmute whatever wounds we have, Uranus is wonderful in that way, because it can make us see things that we wouldn't have been able to see, because it gives us a complete new perspective on things. It can bring new ideas, new perspective, genius ideas even, new friends, new connections. Uranus is the ruler of Aquarius. So the ability to connect and to use those connections to for the collective enhancement, this is really a signature of Uranus. And the way we can use that connection can be in ideas, especially here in Gemini, which means having connecting the dots in your inner work in a different way. It can give you that insight that you wouldn't have had before. But it can also bring people and things and information to you that will help you do that, to see things from a different angle. And of course, as it's connecting to Saturn, which is retrograding as well, and because Uranus is the one that shakes things, it can definitely help us change older structures that are not suitable for what we want to create. And I'm saying change, and I'm being nice, I should say destroy. That's the right word, rather. So yeah, so for me, this new moon is very potent. It's very strange because it's potent in a nice way. I don't know exactly how to say it. It's not violent as some and intense as some moons can be, where they really squeeze us and just like shake us a lot. It's very powerful, but in a very nice and expansive way. So it's for me, it's a moon that opens doors. And it's in that I find it very nice. It opens doors. Some moons squeeze us. Some moons, push us in places that are very, very uncomfortable. This moon is giving us light to do our work in a very serious, but also very kind and very nice way, very gentle way. And we have Mercury retrograde, as I said. So let's see what we can do with that. So until that's happening until the 11th of August. So we have a good 3 weeks. 3 weeks? Yeah, 3 weeks of retrograding. It's the second retrograde of the week of the year. The first was in March, and it started in Aries and ended in Pisces. This one is happening fully in Leo, and the next one is happening in November, and it's starting in Sag, another fire sign, and ending in Scorpio. So for me, this Mercury is kind of emphasizing a little bit what I said earlier. For me, it's asking us to revise the ways to open the doors to my sovereignty. Where do I find obstacles to express really who I am? Where are the obstacles for me to fully shine? These obstacles can be beliefs that I have, or it can be structures that I put in place, my group of friends, etc., my job, my family, where I live, the city where I am, the country, my daily schedule, whatever you can think of that you have put in place. It's really like the opportunity to re-examine all of that. And also to consider, where am I overshining, let's say? Where is it my ego that is shining rather than my true essence? Where am I doing things for the sake of being seen and not because this is my true essence? it's something that is very easy to slip into, to do things for being seen, because we all want to be loved and we all want to be seen. And as a survival mechanism, we can create stories and all sorts of things to make us shine where it's not really who we are deeply. And you will know the places where you shine from your essence. They are effortless, they are generous, they are easy. You know, people come to you for that. You start attracting people, and the things you shine because it's a desire for attention, they have a different feeling inside. But I want to say also, while doing this work, don't punish yourself, or don't, you know, there's no point going into the blame scenario, because we all do what we can at a certain moment in time to give ourselves what we need. And the need to be seen is definitely a need for us. So another thing that is very interesting with Mercury during that moon is it's squaring Black Moon Lilith in Scorpio to like only 20 or 30 minutes apart, which means it's a very tight square. And Black Moon Lilith is related to our really deep desires, the things that society has prevented us from showing, all the things that were suppressed for morality, because we live in a society, because of the general rules, because we live in an organized community that has its rules, that are not necessarily allowing our deepest self to be expressed. So this Black Moon Lilith in Scorpio is really pulling us to the depths, really. So I invite you to make the effort, even if it can be painful. I think great things can come out of that. Scorpio is the alchemist. So, and Black Moon Lilith is really the silenced part of us by norms, family, all the things that have asked us to conform. And to be in Scorpio is a wonderful opportunity for us to dig into that. And it's I love this configuration in the stars, because Mercury, the mind, the one that can analyze things, is in the sign of empowerment, and is connecting in a very strong aspect to everything in us that made us lose our power. The places where we lost our power, where we were made to forget our essence. So it's a great, great opportunity that we have here. And just the last little word about Altair, that is directly connecting with this new moon. It's opposing the new moon to the minute, which is like extremely tight, like it's exact. Altair brings courage. It brings the wider vision of things. Altair comes from Arabic and Nasr al-Ta'ir, which means the flying eagle. And if you think of the ability to see of the eagle, and to have that very high perspective on things, and to be able to shoot for a prey very quickly and with precision, this is what Altair is bringing to us for that new moon. It's a beautiful and very strong and powerful help that we're getting with all the work that this moon is bringing us to do. It's connected to the crown chakra, which again is super super related to Leo, because that's what connects us to the sky and reminds us of our divinity, of our source. So again, a great help from Altair. So this is what this moon is bringing us. Empowerment, left, right, and center, either through the potentialities we already recognize and that we are being asked to embody and recognize, but also through the abilities that we have either suppressed or forgotten, or that are somewhere in our unconscious through other lives or parallel lives. So it's a lot of parts of us. I like that because it's a lot of parts of us that we can recuperate and, you know, and towards our wholeness, to become whole and holy. So before we move to the meditation and the alignment, let's ask, and before we ask the people of Agartha, let's see if you have any questions. So how do we connect, while we're working with the month of Cancer in the I Am path, how do we connect this intense work with this new moon? So Cancer is the emotional aspect of water, of the water trinity. And in that, it connects us very, very deeply, number one, to our blood, our ancestry. So all the abilities and the wounds that run in our blood, we can have access to that through the archetype of Cancer, by working with the energy of Cancer. Being related to water as well, it can, and water being the ultimate carrier of information, it helps us as well. We can use the energy of Cancer to open up one of the three aspects of Leo, which is our history, our memory. So Leo has three main aspects. One is its connection to the divine and its connection to source. The second aspect is how that connection to the divine opens up access to our abilities that are hidden in our unconscious part, in our memories, be it blood memories or dimensional memories. And the third part is connected to our path. I spoke about that earlier. So working with the energy of Cancer is really perfect to enter into that groove of the memory and the history that is part of the Leo archetype. So let's ask the people of Agartha. These are the people of Inner Earth. This is for the newbies. This is the oracle that I'm using. I don't use many oracles, but I love this one. It's been channeled or created by a woman called Lulumineuse here. And she's a French, wise, galactic, beautiful person that has a strong connection with the people of Inner Earth. And she created this, this deck of cards, this oracle. And I love to use it. So we're going to ask the people of Inner Earth if they have any additional information for us to connect with this moon and to work with it. So let's start. Okay. So we got the inner temple, the message from the ancient Toltecs. It's written in French, so if you don't understand, it's because it's in French. And I will read to you the meaning it has. Okay. The foundations of a new era, a new civilization, a new humanity can't be found anywhere else but within the human himself or herself. By deploying our inner resources, we have spread on Earth, in our time, a model of existence, that is prosperous and holy, that inspired other peoples on Earth. To create the new, you must erect your own inner temples and become the inspirators of these temples. We would like to remind you today that you are the bearers of the new models of life. Hang on. Sorry. Okay. We would like to remind you today that the bearers of the new models of life must be the founders of these new models. If you would like to see things come out of Earth, you must be the one who seeds the seeds. Ascension key, connect your deepest inspirations to your actions to see what you hold within blossom on Earth. I'll read that again. Connect your deepest inspirations to your actions so that you can see blossom what you hold within you and see it blossom on Earth. Such a beautiful message. Thank you. Okay, let's go to the alignment. All right, find a comfortable position. If you can put yourself in a tetrahedral posture, that's wonderful. That's the Indian meditation position. And once you find a good posture, close your eyes. And let's just take a moment to connect with the physical geometry of our body. Hands on the knees, palms open to the sky. Check the verticality of your spine. Make sure it's elongated. Separate each vertebra from the other. Check your shoulders. Maybe you can roll them to release any residual tension. Check tensions in your arms, lower belly. And wherever you find tension, just place your attention there to relax that area. Align your neck with your spine. And imagine a thread pulling your head upwards very gently, just so that your entire axis is aligned and straight. Take a deep breath in. Hold your breath. Exhale through the mouth. We will do it 2 more times. Inhale deeply. Hold your breath and gather all the physical tensions and release them with your breath, with your exhale. One last time. Take a deep breath in, fill up your lungs to their maximum capacity. hold. And with the exhale, release any emotional tensions, any thoughts that are in your mind right now and that we don't need. And come back to normal breathing. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose. And feel the weight of your body. If you're sitting on the ground, feel your connection to earth, regardless of whether you are not directly at the floor zero of your building. Your connection is always there, however high you are in your home. Feel the gravity. Feel your body being anchored to the earth by the love she has for you. And allow your roots to grow into the earth, materializing your connection deep, always there, eternal. And become aware of all the nourishment that you receive through earth. What you eat, the nature around you when you go into nature. Every material thing that you're surrounded with. And from your roots, imagine all those nutrients coming from the soil and running in your blood, nourishing your entire body. Making you a fractal of Mother Earth, making you her daughter, her son. Take the time to feel its presence through the nourishment she gives in every part of your body, in every cell. Feel the love that comes with each atom of iron, nitrogen, zinc, and all the nutrients she so generously gives us. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And place now your attention on your crown. And set the intention to open up my crown to receive the light of the sun, the Father, feel the light particles descending through your crown and penetrating your entire body, going to your heart, and from your heart expanding everywhere through your blood. I welcome this light. I welcome the warmth of the sun. And I allow it to spread at its own pace in my entire body, reaching down to my feet, my fingertips, and filling me up completely. And in every cell, the fire of the sun meets the nutrients from the earth. And in there, in the very core of every one of my cells, happens the alchemy, where the fire transforms all the nutrients that I have absorbed into the energy that allows me to move, to create, to walk, and to physically achieve everything that I want to achieve. I become aware of all the chemical reactions that are happening all over my body right now. Where the galactic fire is alchemizing all the nutrients that I have absorbed. I take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And I understand that the same chemical reaction that is giving my muscles and my entire body the ability to move, the same reaction is happening in the memories of my cells, opening the doors to forgotten capabilities and abilities, allowing me to see ancestral wounds that have been governing my life from the unconscious or the subconscious. Also allowing me to see and to become aware of all the gifts that come from my ancestry and all the paths that I have walked. I allow this alchemy of the sun and earth to open all these memories within and to bring to my consciousness all the ingredients, the skills, abilities, challenges that will help me find my path. And as this alchemy is happening within, every cell starts to shine with its own fire. Every divine spark that is held in my cells is now being ignited. And from everywhere in my body, I start shining my own light. I allow this fire and the light it's shining to propagate everywhere inside me. I observe and check the areas that need help to ignite that fire. And I use my breath. And I allow that light to go beyond my physical body and to start shining around me. In a nice, warm, generous fire that not only shows my essence, but also gives it generously to everyone around. And in that way, I recognize my path among all the possibilities that are available to me. I visualize the string that is my path among all the strings that are possible options for me. This is my vibration. This is the song that I will sing. This is the melody that my essence will produce. And as I imagine, feel, or see that string that corresponds only to me, I look around me and I imagine, see or feel all the people that surround me in my life. My relations, be they close or further away. My family, my friends, all the people I connect with. And I observe myself and how I relate to them. How is my fire affecting them? Am I burning anyone? Am I dimming my light for fear to burn people around? For fear to be judged? And I adjust my fire to keep it warm and gentle. while keeping it completely faithful in shining the light of my own essence. And as I allow my fire to burn, I convert into a full sun. The source of spirit, the light that can guide me. And as I look at all the people around me, I look at the solar system that I exist in. And all the melodies and songs that together we're singing in the solar system. As all of us travel through space and time in the cosmos. And I understand then when each of us has found their place, as each of us convert into a generous sun, we all sing in harmony, bringing harmony further out to more and more people and further out in our universe. And I understand that as I open the door to the divine fire in me, I remember my history and my place in the universal dance, recognizing my path, my unique path among all the possibilities. I can, I know, I am. And I calibrate with the sound M. Place my hands on my heart. And I set the intention to keep that fire alive within. In the same way, I keep a fire alive in a temple, And I convert into that temple of the divine, where the spirit is always present. I take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. And gently start massaging my body, recognizing the incredible work of alchemy that happens in my cells. Thanking my body, recognizing it as a multitude of temples, each of them keeping the fire of the spirit alive, constantly transmuting and alchemizing all the information that I receive, so that I can walk my path and find my place in my existence. And when I'm ready, I can open my eyes. Thank you all for being here today once again. I wish you a beautiful new moon, and I'll see you in 2 weeks. Bye for now.